It didn't have a name yesterday. Is that when we did this yesterday?
Yeah, I think we tied this yesterday or the other day. Here's the beautiful spinning view. I think she's a beautiful lady there. So John, tell us a little bit about the materials that you have there, and you know, or I guess why did you choose to make a fly like this?
I like the Sakasa Kebari style, mostly the Takayama, which is the forward hurl and the forward hackle and the peacock hurl.
Okay.
I just find that style really aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, and you have a lot of flies that are kind of tied this way, right?
Almost all my flies are.
Yeah, you really like that.
I like to tie it. I like all the different variations you can do with it from a tying perspective.
Uh-huh. And this variation, you don't have an eye on your hook, and it's a blue hook.
Yeah.
What's with that?
So I wanted to try tying some eyeless hooks, so I called my buddy Chris Stewart at Tenkara Bum and said, "Chris, do you have any eyeless hooks?" He goes, "Yeah, I have a few. I'll send them to you." That's what showed up.
Nice. And so, why'd you try eyeless? I mean, like just because it's cool, or do you think there's some like fish catching ability that an eyeless hook has?
It was just I think the challenge of it, something I'd never done before.
Okay.
Yeah, like everybody, I'd seen some other people's eyeless hooks. I got a bunch of them from our friends in Japan.
Cool.
I thought, well, it's just something different.
Yeah. And the red amnesia that you have here, how come you just did that instead of something else?
Because that's what I have.
Yeah.
Everybody's using like a silk beading cord, for making your own necklaces.
Uh-huh.
Your own bead necklace stuff.
Yep.
I actually went out and tried to find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I realized, well, I've got all these spools of the red amnesia that I used for experimenting making furled lines out of it.
Uh-huh.
That didn't exactly work out the way I wanted. So I got, I don't know, 300-400 yards of this crap.
That's a lot. But this was kind of a pleasant surprise because when you get this thing wet,
It's like a neon sign under the water. It just glows.
yeah, and do you think the fish see it and like it?
They must. I've caught a bunch on it.
Okay. Yeah, they're probably like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And
Especially in like off-color water, it seems to work really well.
oh yeah,
Same thing as having like a bright tag end on your fly, except it's at the front.
yeah, okay. And then when it gets wet, the halo that happens underneath the silk thread, do you think that creates a hot spot for the fish too?
Yeah. The silk becomes almost translucent underwater, especially this yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And that red shows up like a spine on the back of that fly.
Nice.
You can see right through it. And I like the silk threads because they do change color. The red gets really dark. It's
Uh-huh.
still they're still, it's still red. It's just a really dark red.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes a difference in fish catching ability, but I like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, John, I have to admit, the first time that I saw you wrap your hackles like this, I was like, John, you need to wrap it better. That looked like the ugliest wrapping I'd ever seen.
Uh-huh.
But it's the feather, right?
Yeah.
And so this is a pheasant skin.
Yeah, it's a ringneck male pheasant.
Yeah, and it ties different than like a normal partridge soft hackle, something like that.
Yeah, they tend not to wrap as clean, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
So instead of worrying about that, I just fold it over and make it do what I want.
Yeah, and that's beautiful because I've got a pheasant skin myself, and I don't like to tie with it because I always want to get spoon forward, and I just can't do that. I'm like, damn it, and it drives me nuts that I can't do that. And so, you're just like, no worries.
Yeah, just work with it.
Yeah, you work with it, and if the material doesn't want to do what you want it to do, then there's no need to force it to. You know, I mean, just convince it to do it another way. And I like that you use an actual peacock eye and not just strung peacock.
Yeah,
with
when I
this.
was working for Orvis, I had a chance to meet a lot of really prominent fly tyers in Southern California. People that tie like artistic flies.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that sell for like $25 a fly for the big steelhead and saltwater flies that weirdos frame and hang on their wall.
Yeah, wow.
You know,
Weirdos with flies on their walls.
yeah. Not like I do anything like weird like that, but and one of the tips I got from more than one fly tyer was when you buy peacock herl on the strung herl,
Mm-hmm.
that's the stuff that's all dried out and crappy that they're just trying to get rid of. Like the crap they sweep up off the floor at the feather making plant.
Yeah, it's like the hot dog of feathers.
Yeah. And so when you get the stuff right off of the quill, it's more supple. It doesn't break as much. The colors are better. It's a lot easier to tie with because
Yeah.
I noticed this. I've used a lot of this stuff that's strung, and it breaks all the time. Like
Yeah.
you tug on it, and it just snaps.
It does, yeah. It's annoying.
Yeah, and this stuff is just much more resilient. Holds up better to fish chomping on it.
So, John, there's your what I'm calling your blue eyeless hooker wearing a silk dress. I know you have a different name for it.
I don't have a name for it because you asked me. Remember?
Yeah.
So what do you call this? The blue hook.
Well, I like it, John.